Is where
the content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Yeah, welcome to the 6th Borough Radio Show, brought to you by Power Up Radio. Joe and Denise here to talk all about Florida's do's and don'ts that take place every day in the streets of New York. So get ready to ride the A train. Next stop, Boca Raton. So what do you say we get the show started?
Good evening, everyone, and this is Denise Casal. Welcome, welcome.
And this is Joe Ruba, and we're coming live from Boca Raton, Florida.
Well, I can tell you that this segment is going to be a lot of fun. Go ahead, Joe. Tell me who is going to be the sponsoring segment for this particular show. Who are our sponsors?
Well, our sponsors are RD Promo and Sourcing, Safety Works, and Gator Straws.
They've been with us for a while now.
Oh, yeah, they've been with us since the beginning.
They're believing in this,
Yeah.
and for those of you who are listening, they have been with us now for a good couple of months.
Right, and Freddie, guess what? Next week we'll have the backdrop.
Finally. Yes, R&D Sourcing. Yeah, they're providing us with a whole bunch of different items that will be reflecting our logo, but you also can have that same thing at RD Promo. So if you're out there wanting to get any promotional items for your business, we promise to say that you got to go to RD Promo sources so that they can actually get you what you need with your logo just about on anything. But with that said, I just want to let you know that it's been a week since our last show, and it's been a pretty quiet week, for here at the 6th Borough. Kids are still just about getting back and getting ready to go back to school.
Next week, right?
It's next week. Here in Palm Beach. It's right around the corner. And then, of course, Broward and Dade follow suit, all in the 6th Borough. And parents will just going to be partying. They say, yes, kids are back in school. They have some more free time again.
Oh,
You remember those days?
Oh, yeah. I remember picking them up, dropping them off. I loved it.
Yes, the good old school line.
Yeah, in the
School
morning.
car line.
The morning was my job. Drop them off in the morning.
Oh, God, those were painful mornings for me.
Well, this week we had a good show, but I don't know. Last week's show was pretty killer.
It was a killer show. It was a real killer show. Let's give them a recap of the killer show in case anyone wants to go back and see the show again from last
They
week.
can just go on and watch it. Where?
You can actually go back and you can watch it on Facebook Live under the Power Up Radio 6th Borough page, and you can catch all of our shows that we've done. And I actually was just saying to someone, do you know how many shows we have already accumulated in the can?
Too many.
Too many? Well, it's actually near 80 shows. Can you
My
believe
God,
it? 80
82
completed shows. For those of you that are listening out there, you've got to understand we're not just the radio show. We are the radio show at 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock hour. It's the 6th Borough. So you got to keep your eye on us and follow us because it's going to be amazing to see the whole bunch of added things that are coming, how we're expanding and growing. So I'm really excited about giving a plug to our show because we have a lot to be proud of, but we are hitting near 80 different completed shows. You can go back and see those shows, and they're going to be out there where you can see the whole segment. But of course, start from the most current and go back. If you really want to dabble, go back even further to October of last year.
Catch last week's show first. That was hysterical.
Yes, tell them what the last week's show was all about.
Well, last week we had Uncle Louie from the Uncle Louie Variety Show. And actually, we had Lou Greco, comedian.
Yes.
One half of the Uncle Louie Variety Show. And I'm telling you, Denise, you were laughing so hard your ribs were hurting.
I couldn't talk. I actually had to regroup before I totally lost it.
I almost had to put a diaper on. It was so funny.
Oh, goodness. So the comedy that he shares with us, and they are going to be going on tour very close to us. I think the one in Boca.
Black Box.
The Boca Black Box. They're going to be there in February, and then they're going to be in Naples. They're going to be a whole South Florida tour.
I'm going all of them.
So if you are into listening to comedy that's based on the Italian growing up culture and the nostalgicness behind that and how it is that their parents say certain words today in translation how it sounds to English right now, it is just too hysterical to maintain.
Word of the day.
The Italian word of the day. I mean, it's just like when you hear it and you say like, what are they saying? And then realize they break it down. It's like, oh, that's what they're saying. So
It's hysterical.
thanks so much, Lou, for being on the show. Lou Greco, everyone from the Uncle Variety What is it, Uncle Variety?
Uncle Lou.
Uncle Louie Variety
You
Show.
okay today?
I'm okay. I'm hanging in there.
One moment there?
It was a long, long week.
Yes, it was
it really
a long
was.
day.
A long day. The heat is taking the best of all of us. I understand the rest of the country, and particularly our 5 boroughs, they're just boiling. There's no relief for them in sight.
I've been with you since 12 o'clock today. I'm the one who should have the headache.
Jesus. You should have the headache. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, we're in preparation of making sure that our show gets the most of the delivery out of it. But in recap, though, thinking about this week, we lost someone that was very, very iconic in the talent industry, and we really have to give tribute to Olivia Newton-John. She's given us some really great experiences in the talent that she gave us. I mean, she's like the trifecta. She gave us dance, music, and song, and acting as well, and not to mention her body, which was to die for. She gave the best of herself to us for many, many
Yes.
years.
Well, music and song are the same thing, just to go back to you.
Okay,
But
yeah, they
anyway.
are. She
You
sang.
meant movie.
But she meant movies.
There you
Yeah,
go.
she was a singer, an actor, and a dancer.
Right.
That was the
And
trifecta about
she's
her.
most known for Grease, but she's had a couple of hit songs before that, too.
She has.
If you're as old as I am, you remember them.
Yeah, and there are some really great songs. Unfortunately, we can't play some of them for you, but we can certainly give her the kudos and the recognition she deserves, because some of those songs, once you hear them, they just go back in time.
Yeah.
I can remember exactly where I was, what I was wearing, maybe, or even where I was sitting, or even what I was eating at that moment when her songs.
Were you wearing that leather outfit?
I wasn't wearing that leather outfit. Maybe I'll wear it for this. I will
Were you
maybe for
wearing the leather outfit,
Halloween.
Freddie?
Maybe for Halloween I'll wear it in her honor. Yeah, maybe that's a great idea.
Freddie's going to sing, Oh, Sandy, baby.
I got the leather outfit you lent me
Oh,
when you were in that group Stilettos.
Again with
my
stilettos.
God. Well, some of the things that we have to recognize her for, she was 73. She died at the age of 73 and gave cancer a 30-year run. She fought that through and
Breast
through.
cancer, right?
Yes, she gave it her best.
Wow.
She really did. And I, being a personal breast cancer survivor, I was very, very fortunate in my recovery and everything that came with it.
Thank
But
God.
she fought through this. She's a hero. She's just a shero for me at the end of the day, and I know for many. But just to give her some of the things, let's go back in time.
She's a what?
She's a winner. She's a shero.
A shero.
Yes, it's a she hero. A shero.
Is there such a word?
Yeah, it is a
Okay.
word.
She can't be a hero. She's got to be a shero.
She's a shero. Come on, get with the times.
That's
will ya?
not what today's that's not today's sayings. Today's
Yes, it is. That's where I got it from. I got it actually from today's saying.
Figures you looked it up or something, right?
Maybe.
A shero.
Maybe.
Well, Denise, you're my shero.
Oh, thank you. You're my hero.
Better
Get
say
it?
that.
And you're my Shiro.
I knew someone was gonna say that.
But we just have to give her some kudos here. So, Olivia, you gave us some songs that were totally iconic. Actually, she was born in England and she was raised in Australia. And her talent started all when she was in her high school years and made her way to the U.S. But she had really given us some really great some musicals from 1978, Grease. The one song that everybody
Iconic.
knows, an iconic song that she sang with John Travolta. You
she
Are
had
the
many
One I
hits.
Want, when
Yeah,
she's in that whole
many
skinny
hits.
outfit.
Many
And-
hits through that movie.
Yeah, I remember actually dancing in my basement. Yes, I had a basement growing up, to that song, and it was a great song to listen to. And so many songs of that particular album.
Freddie,
Then,
what
of course,
what was your favorite song?
yeah, from Greece. Who was your favorite
The
song?
one with Travolta.
Which one?
Which one?
When
Grease
he's
Lightning.
when
was
she's
my
in the
favorite.
leather outfit. Forget about that. I don't care about the music.
Yes, that's the one that was actually where she is. You're the one that I want.
She was a hottie.
That's
When
the
the car
end.
flew away.
Yeah, when the car.
Yeah, I
flew
forgot about that part. I
forgot
remember
it.
the part with the
That she
leather
was-
and
What
she
color was the outfit again? Do you remember?
Black.
It was black.
and she turned out the cigarette with that high heel shoe.
Oh,
I got
those were
chills.
candies.
They're both-
Yes,
Do
they
you
were.
remember the heels?
Those
the
are candies.
candies?
I don't remember.
Right. Oh yeah, they were
It
like
was candy,
Candies in high school.
Yes.
candies up and down.
What?
She was candy up and down.
She was
like
candy
candy.
up and down. Yeah, yeah, that was a
Well-
great scene. But also, here's another one of hers in 1980, Xanadu.
Oh,
I never watched it.
I never did either.
Xanadu is a
I couldn't
great.
do Xanadu. It's too much bubblegum.
Too
I
much
can't
bubblegum?
believe you didn't do a movie with Travolta.
You remember our other real famous song, Physical?
Yeah.
That was the other one. That was
Let's
the
get
other one that she
physical.
was known for.
Physical.
Yep, and that whole little tight workout outfits that we used to wear back in the day.
Yeah, but she looked like 15 pounds wet. I mean, she looked real thin in that
She
video.
had a She had a very what do we call petite
Petite
like
body,
She
yeah.
really did. And
She didn't have the
maintained it her
boom
whole
and the
life.
bing and the boom.
But she, that movie Xanadu, I forgot about it, but
Did
it's
you
a
see
great
it?
catchy song.
never saw it.
I did see it.
You
was
did see it?
She did roller skating. She was
I know, that's what it
she
was
was a
about.
muse to someone else, and this person had an imagination, and she was the goddess that acts, the roller skating goddess for someone that she was a muse for. She was a made up character. She wasn't real. So.
Okay.
You remember that?
No. That's
If you
To
see
the
it,
movies
you'll
to see?
remember it. If those of you that are, actually can relate, give me a
I
call.
remember the movie, but I never saw it.
Yeah. Well, these are movies that we grew up in. Remember, the Six Boroughs about those memories that we grew up with in the 70s and the 80s. And this is right in line with a lot of memorable moments in listening to some of the songs that she made. And the other song, another movie that she made was A Few Best Men. Do you remember that?
No.
No?
I don't remember that either.
Okay, well, that was in 2011. It was a dramedy. And
Best Men?
dramedy meaning comedy drama. Get it? Dramedy.
A Few Good Men?
A few good
Jack
men.
Nicholson?
A few best men. A few best men. A few best men. And she played the mother in the whole dynamics of this movie. And
did
all
not
the
know that.
music, nearly all the music in that particular movie was sung by her.
Wow, I didn't know that. I gotta look that up.
Yeah.
And that's when she was battling cancer too.
In and out for the last
Yeah.
30 years. In and out. One of her best songs is Get Physical.
Yeah. That's
But,
what
I mean,
said.
you can't, I mean,
We just said that.
we just said that. And
The workout outfit.
the workout outfit. I remember the pink with the leggings, the push down leggings.
Next week, watch us on the show. Denise is gonna do her rendition of "Let's Get Physical."
I actually just did a TikTok. Someone gave me a challenge to TikTok, and I'm
Yes.
sitting there jiggling, doing for 30 seconds of this
I
challenge.
saw that today.
I said, "What the hell is she doing?"
I-
Looks like you were stomping out a fire.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I
It's
don't know
on
if you can
TikTok.
play it. It's on TikTok. I don't know if you can play it live,
No,
but
I can't. No, it's gotta be
it
sent.
was-
Stomping out a fire. I was saying, "What is
I
this?"
actually, it was a fan challenge. It was a 30-second fan challenge, and so I'm actually on day 6 right now. Day 4 or 5
Of doing that.
of doing that. Yeah, I'm not posting them all, but I'll periodically say this is what day we're in, and yeah, so it's a lot of fun. It was something that it's actually a workout.
I bet you I'd get a lot of views if I did that.
I'd say, especially if you're,
say.
especially if you're wearing what I was wearing, I'd be like, okay, we have to have a talk. But yeah, so anyway, the other song that she's really, really known for is "Honestly, I Love You." I mean, come on, how many weddings had that song?
How many
Or
you had?
Honestly, I Love You.
How many you have with that?
I honestly.
Oh, how many
love
weddings
you.
have I had? I've only had one.
Remember that
Okay,
song?
and a very long one.
I honestly love you.
Okay, you're killing it. She's gonna die and roll over again. Stop. And the other song,
It's gonna
of
die.
course,
It's gonna die.
and the other one is "Have You Ever Been Mellow?"
Oh yeah.
Remember that one?
I remember that one when I was in like 5th grade. That came out.
I mean,
5th grade.
Yeah.
No way. How old are you?
I'm young.
You must be like 30.
Yeah. Hey, you don't, Freddie. You don't like my singing either.
I do. I like it. You and the
You
stilettos.
know, listen, everybody tells me I should sing solo.
Alone, yes, in the bathroom.
So low, no one could hear
So
me.
no one can hear you.
Well, so again, an iconic memory that's left us, and we've had a slew of other.
Yeah.
You called it earlier, so we've lost a lot of some really big names. We lost an
Yeah,
entire.
This year's been killer, yeah.
What do we call it?
A whole crime family
A whole
gone.
crime family gone. Give me some of the names. Who are the crime family names? that
All
we-
of them.
All of them. Walnuts.
Walnuts from The Sopranos.
Paulie.
Paulie. No, he didn't die. But Paulie. So
Kahn.
Paul Sorvino died. James Caan died. Ray Liotta, of course.
Yep.
I know I'm missing somebody. But
That Hesh lady died. What's her
Oh
name?
yeah, she's in a coma.
Was
No,
she
she's
officially-
done. She's
she
done.
died.
Yeah.
Oh, she
Her
left us
lungs
as well?
are
She's not
burned
in
to a
Crime
crisp.
Family. Well, she was in Donnie Brasco. She played his wife.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, she wasn't
did.
Donnie Brasco.
She
She
played his
did.
wife, yeah.
Yep. So again, this is all Six Borough stuff. We're going back in time with you. And, if you send a message to us, by the way, if you are watching us, you could see us live on our Facebook page. Yeah, you can hear us, but you can also see us as well if you want to get a visual of what the Joe and Denise looks like and what our voices put our voice and match to our face because it just makes it all that more alive, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And our favorite guy, Joey DeLuca.
Comment, guys. We could see it. Tommaso
Yes.
just said hi. How you doing, Tommaso, my brother? Cousin Joey, how are you? We love to have you guys comment.
We give you the shout outs. This is what it's all about. You're in the 6th borough. You're in the family.
Joe DeLuche is a Bronx boy.
Tommaso, you know Tommaso?
We know Tommaso.
been on the
Tommaso's
show
been on here with us.
From the pizzeria.
No,
not
no.
that Tommaso.
No, not
That's
that.
good pizza, though.
The best.
Yeah.
I was hoping to get a little.
So we need to actually share. So you're listening on the show. You know we always have to have a guest. And our guest that we have today is an iconic name from a show who was
He's
an
not on
actor
yet.
from a show that we all are going to recognize if you remember the show Chips.
Do I remember Chips?
From the 70s, late 70s and early 80s. And then, of course, it made it back in 1999.
99, you did the remake, yeah.
They did the remake, and I have to say, there he is,
There he
Larry.
is,
Larry Wilcox will be joining us today, and we're going to be having him
I love that
share
show.
his stories. That show is the best show.
Best show.
Wait, because of that show is why I ride a motorcycle today.
Is that right?
It's not the cop. Is the reason why you drive a motorcycle.
I mean, the Harley. That was a Harley.
I know, but-
Harley Davidson Electric Glide.
Highway Caparoonies.
It was a great show. I loved it.
It was a great show. I think I had the biggest crush on. I flipped and flopped. It was either I had a crush on John that he went by, or I went by Ponch, who I had Eric Estrada, who I could have either. I bounced back and forth.
It was a great show. I know every episode. That
Yeah,
show and The Incredible Hulk were my two shows back then.
We'll get him on the show at some point.
Eric
but
Estrada will be on. Yeah, we're gonna get him.
You're gonna
Eric
get the
Estrada
Hulk
will
on?
be on. Yep.
Lou Ferrigno.
Ferrigno?
Yeah, I wish.
Yeah,
You
we'll
might.
get Eric Estrada coming to. We're bringing back all these different actors and actresses that were from that time era. Like, what have they done? Where did they go? And like from when they were on at the height of whatever movie or show we're talking about, what other movies have they been in? Like Joe, we know yourself. You were an American, The Last American Virgin, and then you did follow-up movies to that.
Actually, I met Larry at an autograph signing in L.A., the Hollywood show, back in 2013. I think we have a picture of that, don't we?
Yeah, I think we do.
Of which one?
We do.
But, yeah, I met him. Really nice guy, and he happens to work with my agent, Calvin.
Oh, we have a picture. Look at that.
We do have a
I was
picture.
a little heavier back then, wasn't I?
No, you look exactly the same.
Yeah, well, he's going to be joining us shortly. We're just waiting for him to dial in. But, when we go back and visit some of these movies, I know that we also talked about having someone from one of my favorite all-time shows, Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah.
Right? We're hopefully going to get one of the main characters to come on the show here. And, if you like what you're hearing and you want to go back in time, tell us who you would like to see or hear be on our show and interview, who is someone that we would like to hear to see where they are today. And what have they done? How did they get there? What did they like about what they were doing? And where are they today in their
Whatever
life?
happened to his guy?
To Larry?
No, the guy next to him.
Oh, Eric Estrada?
He did a lot of Spanish-speaking TV. Tons.
Did he?
So
Yeah, Eric Estrada. Oh, yeah.
Because he was like up and coming when this thing was going. I never saw him.
He was a hottie amongst the women.
They had
Yeah,
a
women
little
loved them.
feud between them, but they settled it.
Ah.
Yeah, there's always a bunch of feuds, isn't there?
Tell us more, Mr.
Especially on the sets, there's always something going on. Not on my set. There was never any feuding.
Well, anyway, we are really excited to have this kind of show. And, once again, if you want to be a sponsor and be part of showing up on our show, and we have these guests come here, and some of these are some of those memories, by all means, get a hold of us. You can go ahead and send us a direct message through our Facebook page, which is 954-562-8518. And we're going to be able to hopefully get you on and meet and talk to some of these folks that you're most interested in hearing. But we're going to do some shout outs to you real quick. Right now, if you're out there listening, we have Susan Necco Bravo. If you can hear us, go ahead. I'm so happy you're on here. Jason Simka, Charles Thompson, Jamal Morris, Michael Newman. You've been on here before. Thanks for tuning in. We're really happy to say, Big Mike, you're tuning in. Marsha Jackie. Oh my goodness, we have some really great names in here. Stephanie Erdman, Ramsey's son, Stephen Davis, Jennifer Blue. Jen, I'm glad you're there. By the way, Miss Jen is responsible for this.
Yeah.
My beautiful hair. Miss Jen, you can go ahead and see that. Thank you so much for tuning in. She'll be joining us as well. And then we also have Joey. Hey, Joey Cat. Glad you can tune in right from our correspondents out in the Wise Guys. Thanks, Joey, for tuning in. Mark Ratch. We also have Oh, we have Clint Piper, Jordan Smith. Thanks so much for tuning in. You're on for a really great show. The following is huge. Send me comments so we can actually see it. Go on to our page, which again, you can see the full show live on Facebook under Power Up Radio TV, the 6th Borough. You can catch us on there, and you can see the full experience. We have our chef here that's with us today. He's going to be going over his trip that he had to almost nearly half the world. I don't know, for South America, and then he wound up in Italy. We have a lot of places to cover and carry, and he bought food that he made homemade. And so stay tuned. So with that said, the big moment. Go ahead, go for it.
Is he ready?
All right.
Okay, well, here we go. Here we go with Larry Wilcox.
There he is.
Hey, Larry.
Hi, Larry. Oh, he's frozen.
Larry, unfreeze.
Unfreeze. There you go.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. We're so happy you finally made it on to see and be with us. We've been getting so much feedback about you're having who on the show and from where? And here he is live, everyone. We have Larry Wilcox with us. Thank you again for being on the show with us. We were already building up before you got on here, but we want to know so much. Where you been? What are you doing? How did it all start? So I'm going to leave it to Joe and turn it over to him because I know you guys know each other.
Yes, how you
Okay.
doing? We met. You had a signing this weekend, right? You did
Yes,
something
in
for-
Knoxville.
Oh, how'd that go? Good?
It was great. Yeah, the people were real nice, and it was fanboys, so they did a great job. And, we both were very successful, and we were happy. Eric Estrada was there, and
Awesome.
he was late because of all the flight cancellations from New York. So, but
Did
he
he fly
did get
Spirit?
there, and we had a good time.
That's going on
Yeah.
everywhere now. Everything's delayed.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I was looking at some of the stuff, and the Ray Bradbury Theater. When I read that, I'm like, wow, I remember that, and I never knew you produced that. That was an awesome show, man.
Yeah, I produced. What happens with actors is, when you're a young actor, you're an indulgent actor looking in the mirror thinking you're Marlon Brando. And little do you know that you're another pair of shoes on a shoe rack, and you may or may not get sold next year, right? So there seems to be two kinds of actors. One that some that just, even though I trained a lot with a bunch of different people, you always have some that live and die by the theater, and they want to be on the theater and stage. And I don't know, I'm just not that guy, And so I studied privately with a lot of people, and then I realized that, acting is an ephemeral job, meaning you may or may not have longevity in your life. So you better damn well find alternative solutions.
yeah.
And in my case, it was producing. So I produced a movie called The Death of the Playmate.
I remember that.
the
That was
Dorothy
a great
Stratton story.
movie. True story, right? True story.
Yes, and then I produced the Ray Bradbury Theater for HBO for 5 years, and it was an award-winning television series
Great series.
based on the famous writer's science fiction stories. And I went on to do Rodeo the Stars and little
Illustrated Man.
things here and there, and kept me busy.
Illustrated Man.
Pardon?
The Illustrated Man.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So I have a bunch of questions. So I've been a big fan of yours, and when Joe told me that we had the opportunity to put you on the show, all I could do was go back in time and just remember looking at the TV and drooling. I'm so sorry, but it's the truth. I'm gonna let's let it all out, and I'm sure I was not alone. But I will say that I've received so many questions, and people want me to make sure I ask as much as I can and as much as you're willing to share. So here it goes. The first part
Okay.
is, where did you grow up?
I grew up, I was born in San Diego, California, but I grew up in Rawlins, Wyoming. And was a small town, and I worked on ranches. My family had cattle ranches. So from there, when I graduated from high school, I wanted to be a professional athlete, and then that showed how ignorant I was. And
We all might have had that inspiration at some point.
right. And so I ended up, like a lot of Hicks do in Wyoming. I joined Cowboys. I joined the Marine Corps. And
Yes, that's right. Well,
I
first of
went
all,
off to
thank you.
Vietnam.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
your service. We're
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We're very respectful, and we honor the fact that you did give us time in the services, and we appreciate that. We really do.
Thank you.
So from there, so you went into the services, but how did the acting start coming in? Tease us a little bit about that. How did that all happen?
Yeah, so when I first graduated, first I went to University of Wyoming, like everyone did. And, in those days, you didn't think about going to Princeton, Yale, Harvard, or Berkeley, or Stanford. You just went to wherever a college was. And then I left University of Wyoming because my buddy moved to Beverly Hills. So I said, that's where I need to be, Beverly Hills.
Beverly.
And
Just like
so I
that, I'm
moved
going to go to Beverly Hills. No intention on acting. You just thought you needed to be there.
Right. And I had played organ in a little rock band, which meant that I was a wannabe. And so I played a few chords, Louie Louie and Help Me Rhonda and all those old songs, and sang a little bit. And so I went to Beverly Hills, kind of enjoying that whole indulgent artist stuff. And I decided to study music at the Beverly Hills Music Academy. And I lived in this little dingy apartment with my buddy and his mom. We'd pour cereal out and bugs would come out. I mean, it was really dingy.
Oh, that's a
And
vision.
so you think Beverly Hills is all great. Well, all of it isn't great. We lived on Doheny Drive, and then I would walk down to the Beverly Hills Music Academy and study acting and piano music because I figured, well, maybe I'd be in a band in the future, right? And I was so naive. And
you're how old at
anyway,
this point? How old are you at this
I
point?
was 18.
Oh my
But
God, you're very
remember, I
young
was
at this
18.
point.
Yeah, and my 18 was probably your 14
Yeah.
because I came from a small town,
Right.
and I was unexposed. And so then I studied music there, and I studied acting. And this older lady named Lois Howard took a liking to me because I was real polite. And she says, you should be an actor. You're really good. And there are a lot of roles for you. And I thought, well, she's conning me to pay her some money. I don't have any money, And so she let me study for free. And all the pretty girls like yourself were in the acting class. And I had a great
Larry
time
was
going to
loving
those acting classes. And she got me a reading for a television series starring role right in the beginning. And I thought, wow. And so I read, and then I started going on interviews, and then I joined the Marine Corps, and off I went to Vietnam. And then I came back from Vietnam, and then I met her again and studied with her and a bunch of different people. And she got me agents. First agent was a famous old agency, the Gene Halliburton Agency, a bunch of older ladies. And then
Right.
after that, I got David Shapira Agency, and then the Tony Kellman Agency. And anyway, I got all these agents, and next thing I knew, I was reading with 300 actors for my first really good role. I mean, I did a bunch of commercials,
Oh,
and
okay.
commercials kind of got me going, and got me in Screen Actors Guild and the union and so on. And then I got Lassie, and then I starred with Lassie for 3 years.
Whoa. You
And,
played it. How did I miss that? You were in Lassie? Wait, did I
Yeah.
know this?
I didn't know that either.
I'm not sure, but what part did you play for 3 years? So you had to have a pretty prominent role. Who were you in Lassie?
Well, Lassie was the star. I was the co-star.
I'm playing with you. I'm teasing you.
Yeah.
I got you. That was good.
I was the young boy, although I wasn't that young. I played about a 16-year-old orphan boy who lived on a ranch with Lassie,
Wow.
and that was in 1970. And he and I did all the show together. We would rescue animals, and I didn't know any better, so I did my own stunts. I jumped in the rapids and rivers, and I was jumping off railroad cars and doing fight
Wow.
scenes and falling through trap doors. But I had a great time, and it was a great learning experience, and the
Well, you
people
were in
loved
your
me.
element. If you think about it, you're from Wyoming, and you were in your element. I have to tell
Yeah.
you, for every time that Lassie was at risk, I can't watch very much longer because I always get very upset. I'm very sensitive to animals, but like that Lassie boy, how many Lassies did you go through? I hate to say it that way. Was it the same one, or were there several Lassies?
We had 4 to 6,
Wow.
and they were all laddies. but we called them Lassie because they were bigger with bigger manes and collars,
Oh, okay. Well, that was a great little takeaway.
Wow, that was
That was a
awesome. I
great
don't know
nugget
about
of
that.
information. Keep going. I'm excited. What else don't I know? So here you are with Lassie, 3 years in, and then what happened?
And then after Lassie, the owner was Jack Rather, who was a billionaire, owned a lot of oil wells and the Disneyland Hotel and Twin Towers and Century City. And he asked me what I wanted to do. And by then I was studying directing, and I was like this little groupie who knew everything about cameras and f-stops and depth of field and all this junk, right? And I would come with my Bolex and my Bolu movie camera, and I'd shoot and ask the director of photography about all this stuff. And then I would go home and edit on my little film editor where you tape the film together on 8mm film.
Yep.
And in the old days. And then he said, what do you want to be, a director or what? I said, well, I wanted to go to medical school or be a director. And he said, well, which one? Those, you have to pick one. And so I said, well, I guess I'd better go to medical school. So he wrote a letter to get me in the University of Texas in Houston because he was a big donor. And then I was going to go. And then the next thing I knew, I was doing so much work that my career started taking off. And I figured, geez, I'm making more money than doctors and dentists. I better just keep doing what I'm doing.
Better keep acting,
So-
yeah.
Less risk, I'm sure, too, right?
Yes. And so then I did movies of the week. And, you do all the episodic stuff. I did a movie called Mr. and Mrs. Bojo Jones, which was Desi Arnaz's first movie, The Boy. He was a real handsome.
Oh, wow.
Well, we got to go to commercial.
We're going to go to commercial break, everyone, while we reconnect with him. So stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. Once again, Larry Wilcox from the 80s or 70s and 80s show, Chip. So stay tuned, everyone. We'll be right back. So what do you think about
RD Promo is the premier source of unique and captivating promotional products. Whether you need gifts for trade shows, corporate giveaways, holidays, or something in between, RD Promo is committed to the best services and products for our clients. Our expert account representatives are committed to your satisfaction and are prepared to help you find the promotional bags, gift items, and products you need. Our compelling corporate gifts meet high-quality standards and are designed to work for every budget. RD Promo makes promoting your business affordable, efficient, and fun. We work with high-end clients, advertising, and marketing firms alike to craft successful marketing campaigns for brands. Small businesses, major corporations, and multinational Fortune 500 companies have trusted us for their promotional product needs. Call 1-855-915-7377 or visit our website at rdpromo.com. We all know that paper straws are terrible. They dissolve after a few minutes of being in your drink. When they dissolve, they are also releasing gluten into your drink. Gator straws are different because they are made from rice paper. Rice, like when used with sushi, it gets wet and it binds. Gator straws last at least 4 to 5 hours in a drink. Gator straws are gluten-free, manufactured with superior paper, are recyclable, animal-friendly, eco-friendly, and simply the best straw on the market. For more information, call 855-915-7377 and visit our website at www.safetyworks.com. That's www.safetywercs.com. The Safety Works line of products has been carefully tested and established as the first line of defense against the worldwide pandemic and beyond. Our high-quality FDA line of personal protection equipment will keep you, your family, and your workspace as protected as possible during these uncertain times. Call 1-855-915-7377 or visit our website at safetyworks.com. That's safety, WERCS.com.
And we're back live with Larry Wilcox. Larry? We
Yes.
got you again. There you are. Yeah, we broke for commercial, but nobody told you, so you got cut off. Sorry.
We've been
No,
so
that's
excited.
all right.
We were like, we're talking in the background. Oh my gosh, we don't know about that. Like, you're sharing such great things that we never would have thought of. So you're on a roll. I know Joe has a lot more questions, but I have a question too after he does his little bit where he has. We have to catch up to how he got the chips. That's what we have
Yes.
to do.
So you left off with Lassie. After Lassie, I remember reading something that you were first refusal for the part in Rich Man, Poor Man, Nick Nolte's part.
Yes.
Was that long
Yeah,
after
so
that
I-
or no?
Yeah, let's see. I'm trying to think. After Lassie, I did all the guest stars on episodic stuff, way before your times, like Room 222, A Man in the
remember
City.
that.
Room 222.
222. That's
Yeah.
one of my favorite little shows.
Hey, we're
That
not
was
we're not as
awesome.
young as you think, Larry.
We've just
Yeah.
we're vintage. We've just aged really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have. And so, Man in the City was a television series with Anthony Quinn, and I was, he was telling me I was going to be a big star and all this stuff. And Anthony Quinn telling you that, he was a
Great
big star
actor.
himself. And then I, did a Police Story, and I started working with directors that started realizing that I was, a responsible actor that they could depend on in terms of creativity and to bring something different to the role. And so they would give me some dorky role and I'd create some different character. And so, I did a movie called The Last Hard Men with Andrew McLaughlin, a big 6'7" director. And I did a lot of stuff with him. He always would pick me. And I did a movie for Disney called Open Winter. And The Last Hard Men was with James Coburn and Charlton Heston and Michael Parks and Barbara Hershey, good actors. And I played this dorky little guy that had a shaved head and wore a little black derby hat and had a hard time walking, let alone talking, always sucking on candy canes. And I created these characters because, I didn't want to be just boy next door. And then in Dirty Dozen, I played a weird guy that was always psychotic and playing baseball with no ball. And he would be pitching his hand and thinking he was catching baseballs and stuff. And Lee Marvin used to say to me, God, where do you come up with this stuff? And so it was fun to kind of create. And, in retrospect, I put my signature on all my work. And when Nick Nolte first did his series, Rich Man, Poor Man,
That's
he
a
had
great
been
series.
chosen to do it. But yes, it was. And then the next series, the remake, I was supposed to do it. They wanted me to play Nick Nolte's part.
And book 2.
And I was all excited. And I read multiple times. And I'll try to make the story short. But at one time when I was a young actor, I made the mistake of being proud of learning the rules and the rules of the union, Screen Actors Guild. So one time I was doing a television commercial for Prel, hair commercial or something, and the casting director was sitting next to me. I says, we're about on meal penalty here, and I think we get driving money too because we're past the 100-mile radius
God.
that the Screen Actors Guild. And she looked at me with venom, right? And I didn't realize here I was being a smart, negotiating union rules, right? It was really a mistake. That was the casting director for Rich Man, Poor Man. I did a movie called Rich Men, Single Women too. That was a whole different movie, a movie of the week that I started.
Must have been filmed in
And,
Florida.
Yeah, exactly. Or LA, we're about the
same
same.
thing, yeah.
That's
Although
true.
I think your state's better off than our state right now. But
We won't get an argument.
anyway, yeah, anyway, to make a long story short, she said, you're a very, very talented actor, but you're almost exactly the same as Nick Nolte, and so we'll think about it. And then it came back to me that she thought I would be a problem based on my comments when I did that Prel commercial years ago.
She
So
remembered.
there it went.
It took
Yep,
one.
she
It took one
remembered.
inquiry.
That's right.
I have
That's
to stop
right. So
right there.
onward and upward.
You mentioned something like this show, The Sixth Borough, is about bringing back a lot of nostalgic, and you just said something, and every time I hear something that brings me back in time, you notice we have a reaction. But you said Prel, and that was a commercial that you did, and that was for shampoo, wasn't it?
The green shampoo,
Yeah.
yeah.
The green shampoo. Do they still make that
And
shampoo?
They used
Do
to
they still
drop
make
They
it?
used to drop a pearl in the bottle, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
You
know
took
if
me
they,
back
I
in
don't
time.
think they make it. Yeah.
I haven't seen
And then
it.
remember there was the not Colgate. There was I used to do the toothpaste commercials too. Oh, and then I was doing a movie once with the real toothpaste girl who played my girlfriend in her first movie, and that was the Farrah Fawcett.
Oh,
And
Oh,
that
wow.
the Great American Beauty Contest. That was her first movie,
that's
and
I
we
remember
filmed
that.
it in
You were in a
Los
movie
Angeles.
with Farrah Fawcett?
Well, there's another
Yes,
nugget.
Oh my God.
yes, she was my
Did you
nugget.
date her, or you just were on set with her, and you were acting together?
We were just acting together.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're all
Larry.
pausing for a minute here.
Yeah.
We're all having a
Yeah, I won't
vision.
go. Yeah, I'm not going any further than that.
Ah,
Oh, my.
Whoa, I love it. Well, we are a G-rated show, so yeah, okay, we'll let you slide.
But
We'll
this
take
is-
that offline.
Larry, this is all awesome stuff. We didn't know about any of this. This is great. Keep going.
Have
Yeah.
you been sharing this with anyone, or are we just getting the exclusive around this information? Because I didn't even find this online. Are we the fortunate ones? You can say
Yeah,
yes with
you're
that.
the fortunate one.
I love this.
So then after that, Chips came along. No, actually, I did a movie with Don Meredith, the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
And Dandy Don, he was a great guy, and we had a lot of fun together. And he was a cowboy, and I'm a cowboy. I ride horses and rodeo and team rope and calf roped. And so, we would go out and have a margarita or two together once in a while and have a great time. And Don said to me, do you think we did a pilot for a television series called Aero Bureau, and it was about policemen in helicopters. It didn't sell. And the next year, the same producer, as I said, these producers and directors kind of followed me around because I was the flavor of the month at that time. And so they asked me to do another series called Chips. And I said, no, I'm not doing Chips. And they said, how come? I said, I'm an actor now, I'm becoming this
That's
actor,
special.
and I don't want to do any cop show. They've done about 50 of them. It's not unique. I'm looking for character
They were very
roles and
popular
really good
back then.
acting.
SWAT. All those
Oh,
shows.
what an
Oh,
idiot I
SWAT.
was. And so, like all prostitutes, they offered you more money and you go ahead and do it, And so they bought me. And I
Cash
could
is
never
king.
be happier. Yeah, we
So-
had a good time.
So, just so that everyone knows, and those that don't remember the nostalgic or the show Chips, what does Chips stand for? Do you remember?
Well, no, it was an acronym, but it didn't really stand for anything. They referred to California Highway Patrol,
Right.
but that was CHP. So what was the I and the S? It was nothing. It was
Just threw it in
somebody
there.
had put it in there. Sometimes they call, some cops, they have nicknames for them. And if you work for the CHP, they call you a chippy. And it's not a term that the CHP really likes. So somehow they came up with this Chips word that was the title of the show,
Right.
and but it didn't have any major significance.
Another takeaway, I didn't know that.
Wow.
You're just giving us so much information.
Now,
We're not going to let you go.
Larry, when
Yeah.
did you have any experience in riding? I know you rode horses, but you ever ride bikes, motorcycles, or to do this?
Yes, I rode motorcycles most of my life, but
Right.
like a kid in Wyoming, I rode old Triumphs and BSAs and mopeds and doodle
Right.
bugs and anything that came around, right? And but that when we did chips, they told us we had to go to the California Highway Patrol motor training, go through a motor training
Oh,
for
wow.
several weeks. And so we had to ride those big old heavy police bikes, and it was complicated at first. It's just too heavy, and it's intimidating, the
Electroglides, right?
weight.
Were they Electroglides?
Yeah, no, Kawasaki 900s and
Oh, really?
Kawasaki 1000s. Yeah.
I had a Schwinn.
And we had to wreck them and lay them down, and high-speed brakes where the tail end would come around to say hello
and
to
you did
you
all
as you're
that?
going forward.
You
Yeah,
guys
we
did
did
all
all
that?
of that.
Wow.
Eric and I did it all. Robert Pine did a little bit, but he just could not ride a motorcycle. And so he ran into a few walls and wrecked and decided try not to just do the entrances and the exits. That's all he really did.
Oh, that's true.
But yeah, we got pretty good.
Let me tell you something. Because of that show, that started my love for motorcycles, and ever since then, I've been riding bikes on and off.
Let me top that. Because of that show, I started falling for men in uniforms. Okay? Just saying. Put a man in a uniform, especially a cop uniform, you might have my attention.
Yeah.
We used to ride our Schwinn bicycles, me and my brother, in the street in the Bronx, making believe we were chips going down the road.
Yeah. We have a lot of cops that come up to us and tell us that when they were boys, they did that, and we were the reason they became policemen. And in Knoxville, at the Fanboy show, a policeman came up, and then his voice got really emotional, and he almost started breaking down and crying. And he talked about how he became a police officer because of Eric and I, and his best buddy was killed in the line of duty, and he obviously had PTSD. And
Wow.
I talked to him about PTSD, having been a Marine in Vietnam, and
Yes.
I knew what he was undergoing and told him I cared and I loved him and God bless him. But yeah, a lot of people became motor cops or police officers because of chips. Amazing.
It's a dying art, actually. It's not as much as it used to be, but down here in the 6th borough, which is, of course, South Florida, we still have them. They're on the patrol, and they're
California
they're,
too, right? Yeah, you got this.
I can't say
Yeah.
New York or anything, but I know down here in Florida, they're still alive and well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Motorcycle
Yeah.
cops here.
So I have a
Yeah.
question. What was your favorite show, or narrow it down, favorite scene that you remember that you could share with us that really is the one that you felt, wow, that was the one show that really hit me hard, or I should say I'm most proud of? Pick one about a story that you felt was really something we should hear about, that you think was good.
Okay, so
Not the Farrah Fawcett one.
Yeah, we'll take that one
No,
offline.
no. Yeah, that's right.
Off air.
Yeah. Well, you go to a lot of carnivals in the film business, and back in the 80s and 70s, it was fun because we got to ride all the rides. I'll leave it at that. And
okay.
so, so the ones
Code.
that I remember the most was probably I went to Universal Studios, and they said, we want you to read for this part. And so I read for it. And in those days, I was really into acting and method acting and all this other junk I won't bore you with. And so I went home, and my agent called me and said, man, they are blown away. The president of Universal said, you should have been a movie star, not a television star, a movie star. They just love your audition. I said, oh, good. I pounded my chest, and I was real proud of myself. And he says, so I think you're going to get the offer, the role to star in this, right? And I said, oh, good. And Michael Mann, the famous producer director, is doing it, and he really likes you. And they had me grease back my hair and a mustache and put these black marks all over him. I was a real slime ball kind of looking guy. And so they said, we want you to read with all the other actors because we want to pick the actor that'll go with you the most. And that was Miami Vice. And
Wow.
so right till December of that year, they had told me, you got it. These people, the whole studio just watching your video and your reading. And then Brandon Tartikoff, the president of NBC, wrote his book saying that Larry Wilcox was the best he'd ever seen. And he cast me as the guy in Miami Vice. So I fly to Brazil to do a personal appearance in Rio de Janeiro and Sao Paulo. 40,000 kids met me at the airport. I called it being
40,000
Elvis.
kids?
Yes,
Wow.
and their parents. And I call it being Elvis for about 2 hours, and it was really weird, but and enjoyable, and I appreciate it. Portuguese, everyone spoke there. And so we did personal appearances there. And when I came home, they told me they had decided that the guy they said no to, one of the writers really preferred him to me after spending 6 months reading with all these actors. And who was that? Don Johnson. So they picked Don Johnson in the end. And on my website, larrywilcox.net, you can see my reading for Miami Vice. So
Oh, I got to see
that
that.
was probably the most hurtful and most interesting and good character. And I would have been much different than the way Don Johnson played it. And in retrospect, with all the marketing and Miami at the time in the 80s, he was probably the better choice. But mine was more of an actor's choice, would have been, I think. And Don Johnson's a good actor, by the way. But anyway, it is what it is.
Wow,
Well,
that's a great story.
I have to say, when you were here, we're going to fast forward now. What would you say was the worst experience that you had on set on Chips? Were there injuries? Did you have to put on pause? Like, there's this risk when running your own stunts, right? Did you do your own stunts?
Yes. Well, some, excuse me. Actors always, I mean, I guess Tom Cruise says he does. I always wonder if he does all that, but okay. Other actors say they do stunts, and I've said I do stunts, but that's the art of obfuscation. What do you mean you do stunts? Like, oh, did you ride a motorcycle? Yes. Did you do high speed pursuits? Yes. Did you do fire stunts where you blew up and caught on fire and they put you out? No.
No
Did
jumps. What
you
about the jumps?
did you jump? No. Did you
No.
jump off bridges on top of buses? No. So you didn't really do stunts. You did some minor stuff. You ride the jet skis in the ocean? Yes, big
Yeah.
deal. So so to make a long story short, I didn't really do stunts. The worst thing that probably happened during our filming of Chips was, to answer your question, was that I was in my motorhome one day waiting and waiting like you always do, and stunts always take forever. And they come banging on my door, Larry, come on, hurry up. I open the door, what? And I have like my t-shirt on and my tight pants and boots, right? And it's trying to cool down. And they said, could you come out here? I said, why? And they said, Eric Estrada just had a really bad accident, and I mean bad, and you need to come out. So I came out, and Eric had come in with his motorcycle a little too hot and grabbed the front brake, and it high sided. And so it threw him into the camera car. And then the motorcycle follows in the air
Oh,
and
wow.
hits him in the chest and breaks his sternum and ruptures his aorta and punctures his lungs.
Oh my
And
goodness.
so I run out there and he's lying there. And then, being in Vietnam, I knew death very well. So I'm looking in his eyes and realizing that he's going to die.
Oh my
And
Lord.
you can see as death comes into the eye and people lose their willpower, and you've got to hang on. And I'm yelling at him to hang on, and I'm grabbing his hand and, treating him for shock, if you will. And finally, the ambulance comes and I go in the ambulance. We go to the hospital, the nearby hospital, and the priest comes and gives him his last rites. They said,
God.
What
we
year
don't
was
think
this? What year was this, more or
uh,
less, would you say?
it was probably, you know, probably around 80. I don't know, to answer your question, the
Okay.
exact year. I think the show went another 2 years after that.
Wow.
So without him for a while, because remember, Bruce Jenner replaced him.
I remember
And
that.
Yes.
Oh
I'll
my
come back to
gosh,
that in a
that's
second.
right.
Yes.
Oh wow,
So,
that's a transition right there.
You literally.
yeah. So, so they give Eric,
That could be
poor
funny.
Eric, they give Eric the last rites, and he has this really good-looking girlfriend standing next to him, and she's all of 18, and this is a little hottie, and they tell me, I probably need to go out of the room and say a prayer for him, and so to make a long story short, they're going to fly him to Houston. The famous open heart surgeon down in Houston, Texas, at that time was putting pig hearts and stuff in people at the first time ever back in the day. And so I figured Eric may not make it. And to this day, he always credits me with saving his life, by telling him yelling at him to not give up and look at me and don't go to sleep and, give up.
Wow.
And So that was probably the worst situation I think
That's a
I ever
terrible
seen. You know what
situation.
happened by miracle? He came back. I don't know, 6 weeks or 8 weeks later of being in the hospital for a long time at UCLA, and he somehow healed, and he didn't have to have the open heart surgery. And then he
Got right
came
back
on
on the
back
bike.
to the series. Yes.
Wow.
Did they shoot any film of him with you in the hospital at any point? Like he was actually okay. Everything else would have been staged if you were injured.
All right, we got
Yeah.
to stay right there, Larry. We're going to our second
All right.
show, and we're going to come back
Okay.
to you in the second show.
Don't go away now.
All
Stay
right.
there.
All right.
Be right back with Larry Wilcox and these great stories.
We're going to break and turn over to the second part of our show for Power Up. Stay tuned.
Hey, thanks for riding the Sixth Borough Radio Show. We hope that you will stay with us for part 2 of the show on Power Up Radio. Let's get your weekend started with a little bit of laughs and plenty of sauce.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
South Florida's Good Time Oldies is here. WWNN Pompano Beach, a VCMG live radio station. The new Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
RD Promo is the premier source of unique and captivating promotional products. Whether you need gifts for trade shows, corporate giveaways, holidays, or something in between, RD Promo is committed to the best services and products for our clients. Our expert account representatives are committed to your satisfaction and are prepared to help you find the promotional bags, gift items, and products you need. Our compelling corporate gifts meet high-quality standards and are designed to work for every budget. RD Promo makes promoting your business affordable, efficient, and fun. We work with high-end clients, advertising, and marketing firms alike to craft successful marketing campaigns for brands. Small businesses, major corporations, and multinational Fortune 500 companies have trusted us for their promotional product needs. Call 1-855-915-7377 or visit our website at rdpromo.com. We all know that paper straws are terrible. They dissolve after a few minutes of being in your drink. When they dissolve, they are also releasing gluten into your drink. Gator straws are different because they are made from rice paper. Rice, like when used with sushi, it gets wet and it binds. Gator straws last at least 4 to 5 hours in a drink. Gator straws are gluten-free, manufactured with superior paper, are recyclable, animal-friendly, eco-friendly, and simply the best straw on the market. For more information, call 855-915-7377 and visit our website at www.safetyworks.com. That's www.safetyworks.com. The Safety Works line of products has been carefully tested and established as the first line of defense against the worldwide pandemic and beyond. Our high-quality FDA line of personal protection equipment will keep you, your family, and your workspace as protected as possible during these uncertain times. Call 1-855-915-7377 or visit our website at safetyworks.com. That's safety, WERCS.com.
This program is furnished by amp2tv.square.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guests alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Let's get your weekend started on Fridays with your one and only new host, Denise. Bringing you amped, raw, and fun energy to entertain as you end your week to welcome your weekend. Denise will bring new friends, celebrities, entrepreneurs, topic experts, musicians, foodies, local events, news, and much more to educate, celebrate, motivate, relax, and relate. As she says, let's make your mess your message. So let's get this party started. Here's Denise.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the second half of our show, the Power Up Hour. We were following the 6th Borough, and I just got to tell you what an interesting interview we've been having. And this is the part of the show where we're going to hear and move into the interesting side of where our guest is today that we had on the show. And for those of you that have been tuning in and stay tuning in, please listen. This is Larry Cox, who is known...
What?
Wilcox.
Oh, okay.
Larry Wilcox. Larry Wilcox from the infamous 70s and 80s show Chips.
I love
and everything else that we've learned. He was a character with Lassie. He's been up and around for so many different shows that we just need to get caught up.
And this is Suzanne Somers.
Suzanne Somers. Well, this is an important part to really understand that this is the Power Up Hour where we actually get the bigger messages out there. Oh, no, you need to get the helmet back on. So we're going to bring Larry Wilcox back on with us. You got to, everyone, I heard and saw that you had a helmet on.
We can see you.
We saw you the whole time. You got to go ahead and put the helmet back on. Bring us back in time. You have to do it for all of us that's tuned in. There he is. Oh, my goodness. He's got the aviators, and now he's got the helmet. My God, he looks the same. For those of you that are listening and not watching or can't see what we're seeing, this is Larry Wilcox, who has the actual helmet from the show, from the movie when he played John in Chips, and he's got the aviator glasses. You haven't changed a bit. You look the same.
Exactly the same. How many
Look at that.
How many of those helmets you have? You got to connect the sound.
You got to put your sound back on. Yes. Your sound is off. Your sound is off.
Can't hear you.
Oh, hold on. Yes, for those of you that are tuning in, hopefully you'll get his sound right back on, but you just missed an opportunity.
It was awesome. He looked just like him.
He actually has his original helmet, I assume.
Can you hear us now?
Can you hear us now? We got to get you live. Your audio is off. Audio is off. You need to have...
we can't hear you, Larry.
Can you hear us now, Larry?
He can hear us, but we can't hear him.
We can't hear him. He disconnected his.
Your sound is disconnected. Now he's frozen. Oh, Maronami.
Okay, well, that's okay. While he's connecting, we can actually...
That's not a bad picture.
Yeah. So here we are in the second part of our hour, and Joe, this is like one of the best topics and things that we've had.
No, it didn't work.
So we have to stay on focus. Everyone's got ADD in this room. My goodness. I'm trying to have a show here. Power
Me
Up
too.
Hour.
Larry
This is
Cox's
the part
sound
that
is not working.
This is the comeback takeaway story.
Here he is. We got him.
He's back. Are you back?
Yes, can you hear me?
There he is. There he is.
All right.
Larry, thanks so much for really staying on with us. This is the part of the show that we're actually going to move forward in time to say, what are you doing now? And out of everything you've done, you said some really great takeaway nuggets. In this part of the show, we actually want others that are listening or watching that what it takes to have been in the industry, number one, and the resiliency and the backup plan, and the worst that you've been at some point in your career and your comeback. So this is the creative hour of what you've done and Larry, and it's for those to say, wow, if he's been through all that and great stuff and you still managed to do what you're doing for our community. And again, for those of you that just tuned in, again, this is a veteran, and I want to make sure everybody knows that. And again, respect and thank you again for serving our country. It means a lot to the 6th Borough and also the Power Up Hour. Again, thank you for that. We got to go back. Let's pick up where we left off. So here we are. You told us a story with Eric Estrada and the hospital and the whole thing about, you even said back in time, it took you back to in that recap moment of memories that took you into your time in service. But fast forward now, here you are, you continued into the role. How many years did you do it for? And what came after that? And there was a comeback because back in 1999, you came back, right?
Yeah. So I did it for 5 years. I started in CHIPS for 5 years. And when Eric came back from his accident.
So much longer.
Yeah, well, it reran on
That's
TNT for 30 years,
Yeah.
And it's been 45 years, so it's a long time ago.
Wow.
But
Wow.
when Eric, after he went through the hospital and everything, he came back to the show, as you know. They temporarily replaced him with Bruce Jenner, and then Bruce was finished with the show. They let him go, and Eric came back. And then Eric had an accident on the motorcycle again.
Oh, wow.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
And he sued MGM and NBC, and that gave him power. And at that point in time, Eric and I were kind of young ego punks. And so Eric went to NBC and said either he stars in the television series by himself or he leaves the show. And so that meant firing Larry Wilcox. And so everyone says, wow, man, that's some low stuff. And I said, well, he was his agents and managers had recommended it. And I didn't find this out for years afterwards when I had dinner with a producer once who told me that you realize Eric had you fired.
Oh, my.
And so for a long time, I was mad at Eric and really based on the way I was brought up, needed to take him behind the barn. But I didn't do that.
In the 6th Borough, that happens often. Don't worry about it.
Yes.
You weren't far off. We would have done the same thing.
And so I realized that, you know what? People really like John and Punch to be friends. And they're not interested in two big babies whining about each other and saying negative things and so on. So I did a show, Comic-Con with him. And from then on, everything I do is I try to love on him and be his friend and show him that, people forgive each other and we all make mistakes and it's not the end of the world and God bless him. So we've been great friends ever since and we've had a great time together.
That's awesome.
That says a lot. I mean, that's like rising above and stepping out of the heat of everything. And you're right on point. It's very hard for us to do that. People would have stayed in that moment forever and never made reconciliation. So that's kudos for the both of you. So stepping out and making more of it than it could have been.
But what you said was exactly right. Nobody wants to see those two guys fighting.
That's exactly right.
They're buddies. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Batman and Robin. You know what I mean?
That's
but
right.
if you think about it, the both of you, kind of more or less set the level of friendship. And, a dedication to an industry, being a police officer on show, of course, but you did set some benchmarks. You really, really did. And I'm glad that you were able to do that. It's something that even today, in today's shows, there's nothing like that. There's nothing out there right now that I think at this moment in time can set the stage like you all did, and the story that you just shared about overcoming and it's the image. That's very important. That speaks a lot. I'm very happy that you shared that.
You know, back in the day, there were the shows like yours. You know, you used to wait all week to watch. You know, and you couldn't back then. You know, the VCR stuff didn't come out till what 1980, 1979, or something like that. Well, we didn't have one till the mid '80s. But if we missed the show, we'd be very upset. You know?
Yeah. I think that you know, it just kept rerunning on every kind of channel, from TNT to Me TV to Forces TV to all kinds of channels. And so it just has, my wife always teases, how much blood are you going to get out of that turnip, you know? But
those checks keep
we've
coming,
got a
man.
lot. And Eric and I have a blast, and he's funny as can be. He's very entertaining, and, you know, he likes to entertain people. So I can be the straight guy, and he can be the crazy guy. We have a great time together and good chemistry.
We're hoping he could. We're hoping he could come on the show too.
Yes,
I
we're
hope
hoping that
so.
he will.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
So here you are. That whole incident goes down. Now, did you step out, or what happened after that? Did you go in a separate way?
So,
I don't remember how that all ended.
So I went my separate way, and then I, you know, did some movies of the week where I starred in them. What was a Rich Man Poor Man with
Great series.
Heather Locklear and a bunch of other girls, real pretty girls, and then after that I produced, and then I started getting into technology, and so now I do technology, but I segued. First I did compression algorithms for video, and then I did digital distribution by streaming media, and now I do this little device here. I'll turn it on and off so I don't hurt your eyes, but let's see. Oh, my battery, I didn't charge
for
my
our
battery.
listeners, it seems to be a device.
It works.
This is a COVID killer.
A COVID
it
killer.
really?
No, we say cannolis
Yes.
fix that. There's no light that can. Cannolis fix the COVID.
Yes, I love cannolis, but this is called the Phasar, and what it does is this is the only company in the world is called UVC Science, and this device shoots out a ray that I won't turn it on right now because of your eyes and stuff, but it kills all bacteria and all COVID and all monkeypox and those kinds of things. No other company in the world can do that in seconds. We do it in seconds, and we can do it up to 10 feet away. They say with the UVC, they have these little wands for bed bugs and stuff, but you have to hold those within an inch of the pathogen, and you have to hold it on for like 30 minutes. This is 1 second, bam, everything's sanitized.
Oh my goodness. What's the reach on that? How far out does it go?
Well, the spectrum of the radius of the light is pretty large, depending on how far back you are.
Sure.
But at 10 feet, it's pretty large. So we could do a room literally in minutes, and a surgical room, an ambulance, your house. So we have several units. We have that unit that I just showed you. And then we have an HVAC unit, heating and air conditioning, that all air ingress and egress. It sanitizes all the air in your home or your building. And so any surface or air, we kill all bacteria and all COVID. We're working on water right now, and we'll be the only company in the world, and we just signed a $14 million pre-sale to a group in Texas for HVAC, and then we're negotiating another contract I can't disclose. It's a huge contract. And UVC Science is the only company tested by universities and virology labs and is the best product in the world.
So that's okay, I'm speechless, and the only reason, which is hard, but I would say that this is the ideal situation where here you were, you Wyoming, and then you did one thing, and then you went into the services, and you did another thing, and you kept reinventing yourself. You really did, and that's really what life is about. And I'm sure you would probably say the very same thing. Here you are. You were at the heights of certain parts of your life and acting, and you've thrown out some amazing names that we all admire. By the way, I did say it. I'm going to say it right now. I did have a poster of the both of you in my bedroom. Just saying.
Thank you.
When I was little.
Thank you.
Littler.
Yes.
But I just want to make sure those that are listening, we have Larry Wilcox here, who is known for him being one of the iconic shows in the 70s and 80s, Chips. And he's now in the Power Up Hour sharing with us what he's doing now and the transition. And this is very telling. In this part of the show, it's the reinvention. It's, the comeback, and you went from doing one thing and acting to now in the instance of an interest in business and technology and a COVID killing situation, which I think that's fantastic.
Awesome idea.
Yeah.
It's
Awesome
unbelievable.
idea. This is great. So what else are you dabbling in now? I mean,
I think you're quite busy enough.
Yeah.
Is there more?
Well, yeah, well, a combination, there's really a concern about hoof and mouth disease in the agricultural business in Australia. Bali is just had a comeback of that disease, and if it ruined their agricultural business in Australia, it's over. And economically, it could be extremely devastating. So this week I'm busy. What's kind of fun when I work in a company, I get to wear a lot of hats, but I get to produce, so I can go and produce the films. If they want me on camera, I can be on camera. If they want somebody else, I'm okay with it. I can direct them, and then I can edit them and put them together, and then promote them as a gentleman and graciously, and with humility, and help get the product out there so that there's a branding and a marketing capability right from the get-go.
Yeah.
So we're working on Australia, to answer your question. And in addition to that, I've been negotiating with a group which may or may not be real. We're waiting for some documentation, but we hope to build a complete digital production studio in Florida. And it would be the most sophisticated digital studio in the world. And we could do all kinds of really, really unique things.
What part of Florida?
We'll see if that happens.
Will it
Central.
be in Central Florida? It's close enough.
Orlando area.
Close enough.
Melbourne, yes.
Okay, that'd be great.
Melbourne area.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's not too far from us.
We'll be there.
Yeah.
We'll be there. Yes, funny
Okay.
you should say that, because we are building a digital city through our website for the Sixth Borough and the Power Up business that we're in, and
Oh, cool.
it's going to be a resources center of where people can actually turn into our digital city and look for things that if there any sources or needs that they have, they can also not only be entertained, right, but they can also get what they need fulfilled. And we need to talk some more about that. Maybe we can create some collaboration.
Yeah, I designed a digital city. I'll bet you 20 years ago in the 90s.
That's the man to talk to.
And what I did is I took the United States government and then said, well, you have Department of Treasury, Department of Health, Department of Water, right? So FCC, FDC. So each of those are a sector of industry, if you will. And those are key elements that make a digital city. So we were capable at that time of digitally distributing content to multiple sectors. So yeah, if you ever want to talk about it, I really enjoy, especially the energy sector, because energy is going to be forever a big issue.
Oh yeah.
Very big, very big.
Yeah.
Well, I can't thank you enough for being on our show today. You were just amazing and awesome and sharing. And I have one more question, which is what we always close our guests on this part of the show. And you had great nuggets of advice and everything you've been sharing with us. So out of all the messes in your life that you've been in, okay, good, bad, or indifferent, what would be the one message that you would love for others to hear from Larry and all the experience for anyone that's listening that could take a nugget and run with him like, wow, I never thought of it that way. Let's see if you can give us a situation. Again, good, bad, and different. It can just be whatever message you have for us. It could be simple as advice in the industry. That's all we can actually ask for. Any thoughts on that?
I think two things is that you need to walk through fire with your head high.
Love
And
it.
there's a lot of fire in your life. At my age, I've been through a lot of stuff that we haven't talked about because we'd have to talk forever. But there were a lot of good and some really, really dark, scary, intimidating, shocking moments in my life. And I think no matter what somebody says, good or bad about you, or accuses you of, or says negative about you or positive, just walk tall with your chin high, and know that you're a good person. That's number one. And the second thing I would say is the most important trait to remember is empathy. And if
Oh.
you empathize with all people and listen to their stories emotionally instead of defensively, you'll find that you can embrace mankind, and there's so much reciprocity because people love people that empathize, and reciprocity is key too. That's
Wow,
it.
Wow.
Larry, you were my hero then. You're even more my hero now.
Wow, you
Thanks.
so nailed it. And I hope that I
Thank
know
you so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Oh, just amazing information. We wish you so much wellness, and thank you for sharing those really great stories, things that we didn't even know, and hopefully they're just first timers for many that have listened. You're welcome back anytime.
Anytime.
Oh, please do share
Thank
and
you.
come back and visit us. If you're ever in South Florida, our doors are open for you. Thanks so much for visiting with us.
Thank
There
you.
it
See you
is.
later.
There's the hat. I want to get a picture of me in that hat one day. That's what I want. I want to wear
Okay.
that one day.
You got it.
All right.
You got
Thanks
it.
Larry.
again.
Take
Thank
care.
you guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye. Take care now. How
Wow,
was that?
great. That was awesome. I mean, I didn't think he was going to be that entertaining. It
He
was
wa-
awesome. The
No,
guy was
I-
great.
He was the closing that he just did for us. You could
Said it
not
all.
said everything.
Yeah, walk
Um,
through fire with your head high.
I mean,
If
it was,
anyone should know that, it's me.
yeah. Really, there's so many of us, and actually, he couldn't have really have framed it so much more in the sense of after everything that
And all the stuff that we didn't know.
I know.
I didn't know he was in Lassie. Lassie was another show I watched all the time. And I got to watch it, really.
Oh no, I can't watch. I'll start crying.
Oh, God.
Yeah, well, it's the truth, But again, this part of the show is exactly the story and the message that he just shared. So
right.
again, Larry Wilcox, thanks
Thank
so
you.
much.
All right,
For
we
those
went-
of you that didn't catch that
They could watch
interview, you can watch it live again at the Facebook page and also on YouTube. And that would be under Power Up Radio TV, the 6th Borough. So once again, thanks everyone that's tuned in for that portion of the show. But we're moving on to our next guest. But I think we have someone that just kind of came into the
Yes.
that's what happens on our
We
show
got to
here.
hurry up and
Sometimes
move because Larry went over.
Larry went over, and we're so happy that he did. But
We
I
got to
think
still get the chef to tell us about this food. So
yes,
let's.
but what our platform here in the radio station is an open platform, and someone at any time can stop by. We'll drop them a hello, and we want to make sure that we give
Come
you
on
that
down.
opportunity. So who do we have
Where
with
do you
us?
want
Who
'em?
stopped in? Who just stopped in? This is anyone and everyone that can, so long as you come in with them.
Come on up.
You come in
Yeah.
and tell us a story, but come on up. Who just graced their presence with us? We just want to know. Real quickly, come on down. Quickly. We're moving and grooving over here. Who do we have with us visiting today? Sneak in real. Yes, okay, there you go.
What? Watch it do what?
Yeah, so thanks so much for coming on in. So it's
How
a
you doing?
stop by.
Pleasure having you.
Your name?
Joe.
Joe. What do you say, Joe?
It's just
Joe Bachagaloop.
Joe Bachagaloop. So tell us who do you stop by? Tell us who you are, and thank you for coming in. This is setting a stage. This is one of the few times that we have someone that decided just to stop by. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, move
Yeah.
closer to your mic so everyone could hear. So tell your name and what do you do?
Okay, my name is Randy Coleman.
Ray Coleman.
I have been here before.
You have, but you
Uh-huh.
have not been on our show.
No, first time on the show.
Yes. Okay.
Randy for you.
You
Yeah.
know Randy for years.
I've,
there you go.
And I've known Freddie for years.
Sorry for you.
Well, I survived.
Yeah.
You did. So how did you hear about us, Randy?
I saw your information, stardom, viral stardom.
Viral Stardom, yes, that's right.
On Facebook. And I said, boy, that looks interesting.
Yes, that's a project that I am working on. I'm actually the host for that show, and it's a very big project. Thanks so much for following up with us. So tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, what I was kind of interested in is that I saw that you had entertainers and so forth, and I've been working on entertainers for, about 30 years or so.
Okay.
And I was emphasizing one of my methods, which is vocal wellness.
Vocal wellness. I could have used it a couple of months ago, right, Freddie? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I actually lost my voice. It was not a good thing.
Oh, I'm quite familiar
Quiet,
with
the
it.
quietest time of my life.
Once upon a time. So I help people enhance their voice, whether they're on stage or they're public speaking or they overuse their voice. I come in and kind of rejuvenate the whole area and, just get them up to par.
Wow.
Make them much better than they were before.
So tell us exactly What very briefly, what is it that you do to help voice wellness, and how could they reach out to you if they wanted to?
Okay. So what typically comes to me, or just the general entertainers here in South Florida, there's plenty of them.
A lot, yeah.
From Miami all the way up to PGA. Vocal coaches, entertainers, performers, so forth. I've seen them all. So what I do it by hand. And it's not a vocal coach.
Okay.
I actually do manual manipulation around the area to bring more fresh blood in, oxygen, lymphatic
So
system.
Really?
Yes. In minutes, you could actually feel the difference.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
amazing.
Did you hear that, everyone? So this
So is it a type of massage? Or?
It's a type of massage. It's a lot of pressure point therapy.
Right.
And, overuse in the voice, let's bring it back. Let's get that blood flow and the energy moving and the voice is back to where it was before.
And where could people look for you and find this?
My main website is my name, Randy Coleman Wellness.
I gotta look.
That has a section in it for vocal wellness.
vocal
And how long
wellness.
have you been doing this?
Oh, geez, 35, 40 years.
I don't.
Yeah.
Do you vocal wellness yourself?
Yes, I developed it. I designed it. I was endorsed by Stuart Neal, which was one of the top tenors of the world.
Really?
Well, look
Don't
at
live on
that.
here.
Yeah, sure.
We're having an
It's a big
example.
neck.
It's a big neck. Oh goodness.
Not
Wow.
bad.
Not bad.
Yeah, but he's choking a little bit.
Oh, he's choking a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a problem.
right there.
Right there. Wow, look at
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Wow.
He's choking a little bit.
Squeeze a little hard.
But, but in the center, he's real good. He's healthy. But see, these side muscles over here need a little attention.
Yeah, from being
So
tense
does
all
this
the time.
Yeah.
does this massage
Oh, it feels
actually
good, though.
change?
Yeah, well, I find the spots within seconds. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Does it actually change the tone
I'm
of
not choking anymore.
someone's tone?
Bingo.
Okay, so that's what it
Great
does.
question.
Well, yes,
Okay.
it changed
And
my
believe
tone
me, I've
tremendously.
seen the rock stars, I've seen the tenors, I've seen all the top entertainers. They ask the exact same question. Don't change my voice. And I
that.
say, I'm not going to change it. I'm going to enhance it.
You can make it better.
Bingo.
You made mine better. Listen to it.
Oh, he's ready to go.
Yep.
He's good for another hour or
I
two.
can see a bunch of men getting wives their throat massages. Great Valentine's Day gift.
See, now you can scream louder.
Well, you know what?
Hey,
Once
Randy, can
again,
you tone it down a little bit?
Oh, sure. I'll turn it back down.
this is very interesting. This is something that I think is educational, health-wise. So once again, Randy, if someone wanted to know more about what you're doing or actually take up your services, where would they go to do that?
Okay, so I'm located in Boca,
Okay.
and right now I'm at
You
a
make
point-
house calls?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Well, actually, most people need the house calls because they're desperate and they don't want to really leave, and they're like, "Oh my God, you got to come over." So I do that. Yeah.
Can we see that?
One of the most
Can you
interesting
give me a zoom shot
people,
here?
Denise, I worked on
Freddie,
is
can you give me a zoom?
is Ron Anderson.
Ron Anderson.
He's one of the top
You got it?
vocal
Okay.
coaches, pretty much, of the world.
Okay.
You walk into his house, you have Michael Jackson, his sister, Janice, Frampton, everybody.
Some big names.
Okay? And he's used, and he said, look, I gotta see what this technique's all about. So I worked on him, and I've worked on some major rock stars and rap stars. So basically what it does, it relaxes the voice. It takes all the tension out from 2-3 months in a row, and it just relaxes it and puts it right back on track.
And where did you learn how to do this? What made you?
That's a great question. So I'm from Philadelphia. Again, nice to meet you.
Close enough to be within the borough. You're in the right place.
Just 1 hour away, 1.5 hour. Okay, so I worked with a school called the Academy of Vocal Arts.
Right.
And they just came to me like one after the other, 30, 35, 40 years ago. And I didn't have a choice. I had to get them better, so I developed it.
You just developed
Look at
it.
that.
Right. Stuart Neal, one of the top tenors, said, you're doing so well, I'm going to endorse you.
I love it.
And then he endorsed me, and then it just got out to Philadelphia, and before you know it, I'm working with all the vocal departments.
So I want to
God
say
bless.
thank you so much for stopping by.
Oh.
We welcome anyone to come
My
by.
pleasure. I had a
Randy
great
Coleman,
time.
This guy's gonna
everyone.
be a hard one to top, though. This is great.
Everyone is welcome to stop by to get a shout out on the show here on Power Up. This is something that you can be a part of. You can actually DM us through the Power Up
I'm loving
Radio
it. I'm
TV
loving
Facebook
it.
page.
Look at
You can also go
that.
to our website, powerupradio.com. But for those of you that are just tuning in, this is the Power Up Hour. And we're always wanting to have anyone that can join us that has a wellness tip or a top trending tip or something to that effect. And Randy, thank you for doing that.
Oh.
And those of you, listen, once again, Randy Coleman, Randy
Now I'm
Coleman
ready to
Method.
eat.
And you can call 561-789-0017. Once again, 561-789-0017 for the Coleman Method to help improve your voice wellness. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank
It's
you, my
been
man.
awesome.
It
We're going to go to
is my
commercial
break.
break.
pleasure.
Sure.
I want you to start screaming tonight.
I will.
Okay. Jesus. Thanks so much for
We're
stopping by.
It is my pleasure. Thanks so much for having me.
Scream in there.
Yes, we're going to hopefully see you more often in our studio.
Sounds like a plan.
Take care.
Thank you so
Okay.
much for
Thank you.
stopping by.
Okay.
We really
My
appreciate
pleasure.
it.
Thanks again.
So we're going to go to a commercial break. Stay tuned, everyone. We have our chef coming up, and
The
wait
main
till you
man.
see the goodies that he's made for us. Stay tuned.
RD Promo is the premier source of unique and captivating promotional products. Whether you need gifts for trade shows, corporate giveaways, holidays, or something in between, RD Promo is committed to the best services and products for our clients. Our expert account representatives are committed to your satisfaction and are prepared to help you find the promotional bags, gift items, and products you need. Our compelling corporate gifts meet high-quality standards and are designed to work for every budget. RD Promo makes promoting your business affordable, efficient, and fun. We work with high-end clients, advertising, and marketing firms alike to craft successful marketing campaigns for brands. Small businesses, major corporations, and multinational Fortune 500 companies have trusted us for their promotional product needs. Call 1-855-915-7377 or visit our website at rdpromo.com. We all know that paper straws are terrible. They dissolve after a few minutes of being in your drink. When they dissolve, they are also releasing gluten into your drink. Gator straws are different because they are made from rice paper. Rice, like when used with sushi, it gets wet and it binds. Gator straws last at least 4 to 5 hours in a drink. Gator straws are gluten-free, manufactured with superior paper, are recyclable, animal-friendly, eco-friendly, and simply the best straw on the market. For more information, call 855-915-7377 and visit our website at www.safetyworks.com. That's www.safetyworks.com. The Safety Works line of products has been carefully tested and established as the first line of defense against the worldwide pandemic and beyond. Our high-quality FDA line of personal protection equipment will keep you, your family, and your workspace as protected as possible during these uncertain times. Call 1-855-915-7377 or visit our website at safetyworks.com. That's safety, WERCS.com.
And welcome back to the Power Up Radio Show. This is the Power Up Hour. We just had someone that decided to pop in. Randy Coleman, thank you so much for stopping in and talking about voice wellness. And he'll be visiting us again, hopefully next week, to talk about body contouring. He voice wellnessed you.
You did something.
You did
some good
something?
stuff.
Well, for those of you that missed it, you can always catch it again because this show is, of course, live, but it can catch it afterwards. Watch the recording of it on Power Up Radio TV. You can also catch it up on Old Florida Oldies. You can actually catch it on there as well. So with that said, we're coming into the close of our final hour of the show on this Friday. And as we always end up, we want to make sure that we have a piece that deals with food. So if you love food, this is the segment that you got to stay even more tuned in. We have Chef Silver Fox with us, also known as Alex.
If you love food, you gotta
If you
love
love
this guy.
food, you
How
gotta
you
love this
doing?
guy. He's
How you
actually
doing?
been on our show with us. This segment is the Love at First Bite segment, and I'm always going to say this. We talked about curing COVID, and I'm telling you right now, this man's cannoli is the gift to COVID.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much.
The pasticciota. They like it too.
So
Well,
I know that you actually been on tour. We missed you last week.
2
Oh.
weeks. How long were you guys gone for?
for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yes.
2 weeks.
Yes.
Seemed like longer. Look, it made me lose weight while you were gone.
Right. No. So I see you look more asleep.
So we want to make sure that you actually hear from us with respect to a little bit of your trip, but you also made something special for us.
Yes.
So let's go into that. We've been sitting here patiently like little kids in school.
And you put this right in front of me.
And
in
you
the
put it
beginning.
right in front
Correct.
of him. Hand it over. Let me just show the audience. I know if everyone could, for those of you that are listening, I wish I had smell-o-vision for you. Or
Oh,
actually,
yes. That's
I'm going to
great.
do that right now.
That's a
There you
typical
go.
focaccia. Okay.
This is a
From Italy.
focaccia.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Forget about it, focaccia.
Exactly.
Yeah, focaccia. This smells, and I haven't tasted it because I've been
I
actually
did.
waiting. I've been salivating. Yes, you couldn't wait.
That's great.
But smell-o-vision, everyone. This is a focaccia, and this is not one I've ever seen in a store. Or in a restaurant. This is homemade.
Homemade.
Homemade
Everything from the dough.
completely.
No, so I prepare it's a flatbread. No, so that is similar to the pizza, but it's a little more on the sourdough. And also we only add onions and some cheese just to grate it.
But the question is, did you make the bread?
Of course. Of course.
How lucky! I'm so sorry you guys are watching. Must be tormenting. We are getting fresh made bread, and then you have cheese on top. Is that what it is?
It's onions. No, so
Onions?
I saute the onions with some olive oil and some oregano a little bit, and then I put some. It's a mix of mozzarella and asiago that I put on the cheese and just grate it. No, so that's just to get more flavor.
So it's mozzarella and
Asiago
And you
cheese.
just kind of melt that up and just pour
I
it
just
right on.
put it on the oven, but it's also I made the mother for the dough. No, so I just made the sourdough just to prepare and.
You use the
and-
same dough for pizza dough?
It's a little different, so I don't use the sourdough for the pizza.
You
No,
use
so
a little sweeter.
correct. This is a little more acid. No,
What
so-
kind of oven you have at home? You have the
Several. So I have one that is a regular oven that I use every day.
Right.
But I prefer just to use the one that has the bricks. No, so just
brick
You have a
oven for
brick
pizza's
oven in the
the
house?
for the pizza, not only for pizza. You can
But
you
that's
can
the best
cook
for
it.
pizza.
Yes.
Wait, you have a brick oven in the house?
Yes, I have it on the
Baker's
on
Pride?
the balcony.
On the balcony.
Yeah.
Okay.
Baker's
Nobody
Pride?
heard that.
Yeah.
Nobody heard
So-
that.
Yes. So. Yeah, they like it too.
Hey, if
like
they
it
come,
too.
just give them some food. They won't
There you
bother you
go.
anymore.
Yes, that's true.
So wait, you have 3 ovens. You have the brick oven, the gas, or the regular oven. And what's the third oven?
The third oven is when I go outdoors. So I just get a shovel and just make a hole in
Oh, you make the.
the hole in the land. You know, so and then I put some of the first the fire. And then
Oh,
I
we
put
gotta go to
a
his
piece of
house.
zinc, and then I cover and I cook it on that oven.
My goodness.
Yeah, well, we can
Well,
try.
how
You know,
they,
so
that's how they do pig roast, right? They dig the
that
hole.
is a way just to do pig roast,
Yeah.
but or any other wild meat is coming amazing. So you cover, put another thing on top, and then bury it and keep it there for the whole night. And when you come on the morning after, it's super tender and the flavor is amazing.
So that's basically for meats.
I don't,
Yes,
if-
basically for
listen,
meats,
If I
yes.
bury something, I don't come back the next day. So now, tell us about your trip.
Well, we were having a blast in Argentina, so there was having a long time that we didn't visit
want a big piece or a little
my country, and so it's now as one of the top gastronomic countries in the world. And
what country is this?
Argentina.
Argentina.
Yes,
So you went
yes.
to Argentina.
Yes.
Let's say that correctly.
Specifically Buenos Aires. Okay.
Oh, specifically Buenos Aires. Okay.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And it's a place that, if you like the nightlife, good wines, And of course, not for vegan, but if you like steak, you have the best steak
Best
that
steak
you can
in
eat.
Argentina.
Oh, yes, definitely. Definitely. So we're having 2 weeks non-stop, just visiting parents and clients and friends and schoolmates and everything that
we had you on the show 2 weeks ago, and then we lost you.
Yes.
You were making
The gnocchis, because I was
Gnocchis.
just on the 29th.
Yeah.
I say our tradition is just to eat the gnocchis. And it was very funny because let me share with you some of inner that we're having there. Oh, yeah, that
Before
highlight.
you do that, for anyone that wants to know more about Chef Silver Fox,
Yes.
how would they find you?
You can see me at my website, chefsilverfox.com. And from there, you can see all the social media and the YouTube channels and more. So even if you like my recipes, you can just register just to pre-order my cooking books that will be released now at the end of the year for the holidays. And so you can find all my typical Italian recipes or any other cooking for other countries. And also my specialty is the keto diet.
Mm-hmm.
So, but let me tell you what happened when I was trying to do the gnocchis on live. So we were cooking for our shows, and I was preparing the gnocchis. And I have to share some little secrets here, because when you're cooking for TV, it's completely different than when you're cooking for people.
Of course, yeah.
So, and I was having also my mama, and I was having my siblings there, not just to share a night of gnocchis too. So in that case, I was preparing a batch of gnocchis just for the show,
Right.
and I was preparing another batch for the dinner.
family, yeah.
So when you're cooking for the TV, you don't have to cook the pasta too much, because if not, when you put it on the plate, they will just be softly so it must to be almost raw. So I prepared a plate of gnocchi just for the show, just to take a picture or whatever. And my mom was there.
Your mom was
So
there.
I was hungry, and she's 90 years old. And suddenly, so I was just looking for the plate after I shoot it for sure. That was it. And she was sitting, and she was completely pissed that I said, "You're a chef, and these gnocchis are raw."
Oh my, the raw was not, the gnocchi was
Mama
not
knows.
good.
And I said, the mama. So they said, okay, how do you cook these gnocchis? That was funny. But
Hold on, just real quick, the
yes.
gnocchi, is it potato and what is it exactly?
well, you can prepare with different kind of ingredients, so different kind of
I
gnocchis.
had for lunch today.
Yes, potato gnocchis is most common, but my specialty is on ricotta gnocchi.
Ricotta
Ricotta,
gnocchi.
much
Oh,
more
wow.
lighter and it's
nice.
softer, and it's really great. So
Wow, we'll have to actually try that next time.
okay, I will prepare.
So okay, so now here you are, you're in Argentina visiting family, doing the live cooking show. You tried
Yes.
dialing with us, and we had a little bit of connection issues.
Yes.
I did get to tune in towards the end because I was traveling as well. So how was it visiting South America, and when was the last time that you were there to see your family?
Oh, in Buenos Aires, I was 28 years ago.
28 years ago?
Yes. So to me, it was a complete new city. So
Right.
really, I was trying to relive my memories, and also try to look for those spots that remember my area there. And honestly, so I found myself lost because I was not having any reference
Well, anything
about
after
the
28
buildings
years,
or-
yeah, of course you would.
Yes, that was completely
A lot
different.
of a lot of stuff built up, right?
Correct. Even so, it was hard just to go to my neighborhoods, where I was playing when I was a kid, and just see that everything was changed. Some places just for much better. So honestly, we was just making city tours, for also Sharon, that it was the first time in there, and we found out that. Honestly, you feel like you are in a little Europe in Buenos Aires.
Is that right? Well, they say it's
Yes.
actually beautiful.
Yes.
But the main reason for you going down there was, I guess, to shoot your show and, of course, your photography professional work that you do. For those of you that don't know, the chef is also a professional photographer and does work closely with Playboy. And if you want to follow him, you can very well do that on Facebook. And where on Facebook would they find you?
They can find me on Facebook on my page. There is Alex Manfredini Photography.
Let me say that slow. Alex
Alex Manfredini
Manfredini
Manfredini.
Photography.
photography.
Or you can reach me at my website too, alexmanfredini.com.
Can you imagine putting that on an SAT application? That last name? Yeah.
Well, that's why I changed my name when I became a citizen. I put it Alex because my original name was Carlos Alejandro Teodoro Manfredini. So it was too long.
No, that's 8 people in one.
Yeah, Carlos. Your mom's last name too. And my mom's last name.
Oh, because they added in the other
just
countries, they add the last name. So you had 5 names. Or 6
five
names.
names.
5 names. Okay.
And when I became,
I'm good with 1 or 2.
When I became a citizen, I decided just to put just Alex Manfredini because I was having the artistic name done, but I was wishing just to have a middle name too. And when I submit my application to the judge, they put Alex the Great.
Oh, there
and
you
I
go.
said, no, you cannot have it the Great as a middle name.
There's always one in the crowd.
Yeah.
As the judge says.
Yeah, that's it. So
here
keep
you
it
are.
honest.
You're in Argentina, Buenos Aires, more specifically, and it was a tour that was combined of doing a show, a shoot, and visiting family.
Correct.
And it was centered around food. I got to ask the question: what was the one dish that you didn't eat that you craved? Going back in time to your grassroots where you were.
The good thing is that at this time of the year there is winter. And
It's
very
winter.
cold.
That's right, because
So
it's
you guys are
opposite
all
here.
dressed up.
Oh yeah, completely. And also it's good just to get not only the steaks, so there are nice dishes that are typical like the locro, that is like a stew, or some Italians too, because we have a very high influence of
A lot of
Italian
Italians
food.
in Argentina,
Yes, lots of them. So, but yes, I was missing just to try some of the other traditional, but so I just have the opportunity just to eat all the steak that I want.
Oh, okay.
And even cooking.
The best steak there.
Yes, but honestly, so you had to try mine. And that was one of the best that we
I can imagine.
So
Yeah,
after
I'm not
Buenos
messing with
Aires.
your food, I know.
yeah, you had to try it.
So after Buenos Aires, what was your next stop?
Next stop is Warsaw, Poland.
Warsaw.
Yes.
So you went from South America to Europe.
Correct.
Warsaw.
We're heading there. We're heading there right now. We're heading to Warsaw right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant like while you were
When
traveling.
You guys leaving me again?
Exactly, for a couple.
Chile. We stopped in Chile.
Okay.
Yes.
And of course, because we didn't have our visa, they wouldn't let us leave the airport.
Well, that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
But you did go from Buenos Aires to Chile.
And then back to Miami.
And then back to Miami.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay.
So
Yes.
we're heading to Poland.
Poland is your next stop. Okay.
Next stop is Poland.
And
yes.
that's going to be for a photo shoot or is it for cooking?
I will be for both.
For both?
Yes, but we will do also our shows there. But the reason of the travel by itself is just photo shoot.
So, I mean, can you imagine?
It's end of September. And
September, okay.
yes.
2 weeks of Playboy.
Yeah.
So, just to everyone that's listening, this is a chef that actually has a love for food and creating food, but also has this amazing talent in photography. More specifically, does photography for Playboy, and I've seen some of his work, and I'm just amazed at the beauty that comes
Me
and the
too.
creativity. It's just, yes, of course, Joe would say that, but as a female, it's
Yes.
actually very tastefully done. It's gorgeous.
Thank you.
And just the angles in itself, you're a very, very talented person.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You have the best of both worlds. You have to eat, and you can see everything that you do.
Well,
it's just
cooking is an
whatever.
art.
Cooking's
also,
an art.
It's culinary art.
Yeah.
Culinary
that's-
art.
Yes, exactly.
So-
I saw the picture, the black and white picture that you took, the photographer. That was
Most recently posted, yeah.
Yes,
That was beautiful.
yes. That is part of a collection that we're starting doing art exhibitions.
Okay.
And that is the reason also that we will allow us just to travel because we have to open our exhibition in different cities. And so we are just one of those one of my collections mix my two passions.
Love it.
That is called edible erotica. That is just
Edible erotica.
Correct.
I want to be a part of that.
yeah. Well, you can buy them if you want it, no. But it's a mixing of the beauty of the woman body
Yes.
and just mixing with the gastronomy. It's just with the.
Okay, I'm in. I'll participate. That wasn't much to
That's-
convince
that's-
me.
that's
Yeah,
good.
I mean,
That's
those are
good.
best of both worlds. So,
Yes.
again, anyone that's listening, this is Chef Silver Fox, who is in the segment of the Power Up Hour for Love at First Bite. And I can tell you that the food that we've tasted, every time that he's been here, it's just been another great gastronomic experience.
We always finish the show with us eating his food,
Yes.
and that's good and it's bad because it's got to sit here in front of us.
Yes, it's like
whole-
children
the whole
waiting
show,
to
right.
chomp
Yeah.
at the bit.
Yes.
But next time when you go, we were saying, Freddie, right? He should film it the before and send it to us.
Correct.
Yeah.
That way we have it. That way we
Yes.
don't have to go through any of that.
Correct. So
As
we
much
can,
as we would love to have you live, it'd be just great because that means that our show has arrived in another country, which makes it so much more.
But we could say from fly from Argentina.
Yeah, we
or
can do
fly
that.
from Poland.
Yeah.
Yes, true. That
So
will
if
be
anyone
wonderful.
wants
Once you get
to,
cut off, you know?
Yeah, then we can do it.
anyone can actually also hire you and your talent for the purpose of not just doing. You can do a photo shoot, but it could be for boudoir or it could be for weddings or anything else. Is that what you would cover, or is that something that you don't? This is more for an intimate setting
So
of a,
usually I have a niche that I specialize.
A niche that you
but
specialize in, okay.
It doesn't mean that I don't perform any other type of photography neither.
Right.
No, so I started as a food photographer.
a food photographer.
Yes, and then I just became a glamour photographer, just doing working with talent, just to do talent headshots and model portfolios. And also I have my own style on maternity that is called glamorous maternity.
You do a maternity shoot.
Oh yes.
Oh, that's
definitely.
fabulous. I think
Yes.
that's wonderful.
Yes, I
think
can
that's
make
a-
with Joe some. Right. But
Well.
yes,
There was
I
nothing.
do events, I do
watched,
commercial.
I watched 3 kids be born. There was nothing pretty about that.
Well, thank you so much, as always, for being on the show with us and for sharing your travels and for sharing your talent and the food that you bring to us. Again, everyone, this is part of the show that's called Love at First Bite, and this is a segment that they bring together. We do have other portions of Love at First Bite experiences that eventually we'll bring into the mix of things. But this particular dish, I mean, again, focaccia, is that how you say
Focaccia,
it?
yes.
I get an Italian lesson every time he
Forget
comes
about
on. It's excellent. I'm so sad that no one can actually. There's no taste-o-vision or smell-o-vision. That has to
Just
come
take my
eventually.
words for it. It's good.
It's really, really good.
Thank
It
you
really
very
is.
much. Thank you. And I would like just to hear from the audience what they would like just to me to
Yes.
prepare for the show. And so, and
who?
a paella, I can prepare a
who?
paella.
A paella.
A paella.
Yes.
Paella.
Yeah,
It's a
sea-
dish.
I know what it
A
is.
seafood
They're not
paella
Italian
is a
about
Spanish
that.
dish that I can prepare too.
It's
So-
paella is delicious. I like it.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll
So
prepare.
we're going to actually, once again, look
paella.
forward to seeing you on the next show. You're going to be doing a photo shoot for both myself
Oh,
and
yes.
for Joe and us together. So we
Yes.
look forward to seeing what
And
that's
it's
going
not
to
a,
look like.
That's not a Playboy shoot either.
It's not a Playboy shoot. No, that's not. This is going to be for you all to enjoy and get our mugshots on top of all of the material that we're doing in marketing.
That's right.
So once again, if you do want to find out or have something specific that you want to have him cook and bring on the show, by all means, you can go ahead and DM us through our Power Up Radio page on Facebook, or you can go ahead and reach us through the show directly. Phone number 954-562-8518 to reach out and give us your thoughts. Once again, thank you so much, Alex, for being here. Sharon, thanks so much for always sharing
My
him.
pleasure.
And this. Oh yeah,
I do.
He did the
Yes,
cookies.
he did.
but big pastries like wedding cakes and things like that.
Well, I'm working on the buffet side of the wedding events, but I'm not in the cake by itself. But I can prepare a cake. But
I'm sure you can.
it's totally a specialty.
Nice
Not just to prepare
cannoli cake.
The cannoli. Oh my gosh, the cannoli
those.
cake.
That's great.
Can you tell I like cannolis? Anyway, again, Chef, thank you so much for sharing your time with us. It's always a pleasure to have you here and giving us this delectable delight and everything that you've shared with us so far.
My pleasure, and always a good time just to sharing with you.
Thank you. So we're coming to a close on our show, and we do have more that we're going to be sharing with you. But hopefully, you've liked these 2 segments of our show. The Power Up Hour is between 7 and 8, and then between 6 and 7, you have the 6th Borough. And again, we had Larry Wilcox that was with us from
Great show tonight.
Great
Nice.
concept.
Great guy.
Everything he shared with us. We had Chef Silverfox with us, and you've had, of course, the delights of myself, Denise Cassell, and Joe Rubo here
And
giving
the
you
throat
some
guy,
entertainment.
The throat dude.
Yes, we also had Mr. Coleman here
Randy
from the
Coleman.
Voice Wellness, and hopefully we'll see him next week on Body Contouring. So, you know what? I want to hear from you guys. Give us our comments. Watch our show again. You can catch it live. Stay tuned for the release and launch of our new website. It's going to be a lot of fun, and where you can become interactive. You can post your events on there, your charity events, your community events, things that we can talk about. If you want us to be a guest and you can book us, you can go ahead and book us as well. Until then, we look forward to seeing you Joe, any last words to close the show?
Yes. The website looks great, by the way. And next week, we don't know who's coming on yet, but we're trying to get who. And,
We don't know who.
No, you know who.
You know who.
The other guy.
Eric Estrada.
Yeah, we're trying to get him for next week.
Yes, but we actually have some other lineups too.
Yeah.
we do.
We're always good. And the last 2 weeks, I don't know how you could top these two shows. I mean, the Uncle Louie show last week and Larry Wilcox this week. The only thing that could top it is Freddie coming over here dancing on the table.
Anytime.
But
Freddie knows.
So remember, we also have our last guest who was here, the young James Brown.
That's
he
Sunday,
has his
right?
event is Sunday at the balcony, and
you
he
coming,
will
guys?
be doing. Yes, it's an invitation. It's an open invitation, and
You guys come?
again, the balcony. You can actually see the live young James Brown and get the experience of what it's like to see James Brown in front of your eyes again.
I'm looking forward to that.
That's going to be a
That's
great
gonna
event.
be-
Hopefully, we can see you all
Very
there, and you
talented
can
man.
say hello to us, and we'll say hello to you. So, with that said, everyone have a real great, blessed week. Stay safe. For those who are getting the kids ready back to school,
Where is that event at?
at the balcony on Las Olas in Fort Lauderdale.
Thank you.
That's where the event will be. Yes. So once again, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great week, and stay in touch with us. We want to hear from you. Take care now. Everyone, have a great day.
Thank you.
You have been listening live to the one and only timeless Denise as she helps you bring in your weekend with a smile. If you wish to contact Denise and be on the show, call us at 866-224-5422 or email Denise at poweredupradiotv.show and tell us how your business shapes up the weekend. Again, call us at 866-224-5422 and make your mess our message. Now that you are powered up, go get your weekend on.